Bitches and Bros, and I'm very new host. Welcome back to the one and only Band of Misfits podcast, the showcase of control chaos we call friendship. Joining us today is yours truly, Panda and Wolf.
Hello.
Hey.
We're here. We're back. I mean, we did record last week. We're getting better, guys.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, we're getting better at actually recording every week, like we said.
Yeah, there are just a couple of things. Now that I'm actually a teacher, there are a couple of things that I need to keep on the down low to keep my identity secret. So bear with me. I might not be as entertaining as you'd like me to be.
It's still gonna be entertaining stories. It's just obviously for confidential reasons.
For the safety of my students and for myself. I have
Panda's career as a teacher, among other things, is one of the reasons why we go by nicknames.
Yep.
Yes.
But this is desperately needed because I teach middle and high school. So, I need the ranting time.
Especially when her students have been little pieces of crap.
I love them. Okay,
but
my kids are sweet. I do. But my little sixth graders the other day were like, Miss Panda's the best teacher in the whole school. I love this class. I cried. Thanks. It was great. They're like, yeah, you're way better than Miss So-and-so. And I was like, hey, I like Miss So-and-so. Don't be mean to Miss So-and-so.
Is this the Conchla lady?
No, that's a different lady.
Oh,
everyone loves her.
Yeah, there's a teacher that's been backing Panda up.
She's the Spanish teacher.
Yeah. If the students misbehave, she told her to send them over to her, and she'll just take out the qatar.
She would hit them with la chancla.
La chancla. Which is shoe, guys. She'll hit them with a shoe.
Yeah, they literally hit you with a shoe.
I'll say, for those of you who don't know what it is, if you've seen Disney's Coco, it's literally in the movie. It's where the grandma throws her shoe at the musicians. That's the common Spanish thing. I
thought it was made up when I was younger, to be honest.
I did too, but it's actual legit.
It's actually it's just hilarious. But yeah, so I've had this girl in one of my first thing. All right, and then I'll move on to Shota's thing because I know he's very excited to talk about it.
I wasn't so excited. It would be the correct
He's more happy to go on a rant fest.
Yes, I was telling them before this. They have more details than y'all will. But I have this girl in one of my classes that acts like a little terror, basically. And so, first of all, this is a pet peeve. All right, this is a pet peeve of mine. This is white girl that uses AAVE, and if you don't know what that is, that's African American Vernacular English. That gets on my nerves. She does not speak like that. All right, I've heard her parents talk. That is not how she speaks. Right? I'm like, you're just doing that to sound tough, and frankly, that's kind of racist. Was all I could think. So, anyway, she thinks she's grown. And has apparently been telling her parents that I have not been helping her in class, when the reality is that she just hasn't been bringing all the materials she needs to class. And when I told her parents that, they were pissed. So I just call her Little Miss Thang. That's my nickname for her, basically. Little Miss Thang really thought she was going to make me the bad guy. Basically, because she thought I was bluffing when I said, I will call your mama. But I never bluff.
I'll say, guys, when a teacher says they're going to actually get in contact with your parents, they're most likely going to get in contact with your parents. Don't think it's a bluff. They ain't bluffing.
Some teachers do bluff. Not gonna lie, but I do not bluff.
I'll say, Panda does not bluff.
I play with a full house or I don't play at all. And that's how it is. I think the worst part of it is that all my other kids in this section of my class that she's in hate her too. So,
But do you
I
blame
don't even
them?
hate her. I want this kid to be successful, but like she doesn't know how to act. And I feel bad because my other kids can tell that she gets under my skin and I'm their favorite teacher. So, that's fun. I was worried it was me for a while until like my kids started bringing me gifts and if your kids bring you gifts, they say hi to you in the halls and for the most part respect you when you give them a warning because you've shown them that you don't play around with consequences. Or other teachers tell you, the kid just loves you. This is so funny. Like, then your kids probably like you. And I know a lot of teachers, this is a teacher rant. A lot of teachers really don't think that kids liking you matter. Kids liking you matters at all. Which I guess in some cases it doesn't. But like being their friend isn't going to make them like you. In fact, they probably will hate you in the long run because you're probably not a good teacher. If your discipline strategy was, let's be friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, you're not friends with the children. Don't do that.
I'll say, no, your job is to teach them. You're not supposed to be friends with them. You can be friendly with them.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Don't be a dickhead, but don't be friends with them. That's weird, first of all. And second of all, but I think it really, if you are likable, I do think it makes your life easier because more of your kids will enjoy being in there, and therefore the atmosphere won't be so overbearing. So basically, my teacher tip is call your parents. Even if they're like, my little angel would never do that. Make sure their little ass is sat in there in that meeting so that when you say something, they have to be like, sorry. So they know that it actually happened. Because kids are horrible liars.
Oh, yes, they are. And the parents will believe them, point blank. I trust as a former summer camp counselor for 3 years, the amount of lies I had kids try and tell their parents, and the amount of times I sat down, I'd go and put the kids in their cars at the end of the day, and I'd be like, oh, so and so said this today, and the parent would turn around to the kid and be like, excuse me, you did what? Like, okay. They're such low liars, guys.
Yeah, don't listen to them because like like I said, make sure that kid is in there when you have that conference because then they have to account for what you're saying. And when they are unable to, the parents will know that they're lying and they'll be for sure on your side. My second thing is please be likable, but don't be your kids' friends.
I'll say be likable, don't be their friends.
Okay.
That's what happens with the cashiers.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Go on ahead, Shona.
Oh, God.
While you get started, I'm going to be able to hear you because my computer is loud. I'm going to make myself drink. I'll be right back.
Where do I fucking start?
Just start with the part 1 story.
That's the one I didn't want to start. Okay, well, it was a regular day at the grocery store. The accountant and the CSO were changing out the self-checkout line. I was in charge of watching self-checkout. I turned around to help someone with a ID check. It did the ID check. Then I went to the attendance desk, and guess what is on the desk? It looks like a receipt. I'm like, okay, what the heck is this? Why is this here? I go to throw it away, but lo and behold, what does it say on the back? Sheila, you're cute. If you're into the older men,
Panda immediately leans over her kitchen counter.
Older men. Okay.
Now we didn't know how old they were talking about, and this guy hadn't even shown his face to Shiota. So
no, I did not know. But so first off, I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
Then the CSM customer service manager, she was like, "What's your language?" But what? And I showed her, and she doubles down laughing. I was like, "Okay, I understand why you have a potty mouth, but." So we just gotta stand there like, H. She was like, I'm kind of tempted to go on the camera and see who it was. Like, did you see him? I was like, no, I did not.
That's weird.
Yeah, so let's see who all got in on this. Let's see, we got one of the clerks who also switched to the accounting office with me. We have the accountant, we have the CSO, and the other BBT person who just transferred.
And Wolf, because Wolf just happened to walk up shortly after all this happened.
Yeah.
Hi, Latte.
Also, Latte say y'all.
Hey.
So Jay, the person who went to accounting with me, she learns after the fact, and she takes a picture and she texts the guy just to find out who it was.
Yeah, because Shioda wasn't going to do it, because would you text a random stranger who left their phone number?
Yeah, like I saw the message on the receipt, and Perry automatically thinks this is the beginning of a 48 Hours documentary. Legitimately, that's what he was thinking. So she starts out the conversation with you use the wrong form of y'all.
Yes, because Shioda did point this out.
Yes, I was very keen to point that out. He used YOUR, not YOU''RE, and people think I'm kidding.
My cute what?
He just said like you're cute.
He said you're cute, but instead of saying you are cute, he just said you're cute. And he didn't put apostrophe RE, he just put YOUR, which does not have the same meaning.
Yeah, people think people think I'm joking, but Bella is a bit having improper grammar is kind of a turn off. Especially with y'all. Yes, I don't know, that just bugs me for some reason. But so that's part one. Then part two is a few days back. He actually approaches me.
He showed up.
Yes, he approached me with the intent of meeting me face to face, so I know that he isn't a creep. Which, to be fair, I already kind of thought he was a creep beforehand.
Yes, because, stranger danger, guys. Shioda and I would have the exact same response. Why the hell did somebody leave us their phone number? No, I'm not going to text them. They could be a stalker or someone like.
Oh, man. I remember when I was still working there. I had a friend that worked there with me. And she was working self-checkout one day. And had this guy come up to her. Asked when she got off and all this stuff. He came back with a handwritten note about how hot she was. This thing was like front and back, by the way. Like a full piece of paper.
Okay. And yeah, that's red flags.
Basically, they had to blacklist him. They blacklisted him.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Because that was horrifying. That's weird. That is weird. That's also funny to me that the guy clocked you as gay immediately.
Okay, if you met Shioda, it's like, I don't want to say it's obvious, but
yeah.
I guess if you are gay, also.
I mean,
that gaydar of ours.
So I looked at the text the conversation, which, to be fair, it really wasn't much of a conversation. He even asked like I don't know how long later, but he was like, are you even into guys?" But in my defense, on that day we were having a conversation about being trans or non-binary, so maybe he picked up on that. But another thing that kind of upsets me is in the message between Jay and this guy, he was like, I didn't know if you noticed me checking you out. Like I'm not some like I just hate hearing like checking you out. It just like even saying, "Hey man, would you like? I can check you out over here." Like I still don't like saying that either because it just makes someone seem like a piece of meat.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's got quite the implications to it.
Yeah, but so this guy, well, I want to say is mid 40s to maybe early to mid 50s.
Which is like double your age.
Yeah, and I honestly would
So-
prefer to
Yeah.
date someone in my age range. Also, you people know my stance on it. It should be friends to romantic partners,
Yes.
not
Not,
just-
hey, we're strangers, let's go on a date.
yeah.
Like,
no, I wouldn't. I mean, even if he was in his like, even if he was like 4 years older than me, and he liked me, and he was decently attractive, I still would rather be friends first than see where it goes.
Yeah. But in this case, he was twice your age.
Yeah,
so when he said, "Are you into older guys?" he meant older.
Yeah, he kept on insisting, "Hey, do you still have my number? Hey, do you still have my number? Hey, do you still have my number?" And like I did the thing that I do with Karens, where I just kind of zone them out and say anything I can to get out of the situation.
Yes. He was, based on what you're saying, he was very persistent, which, it's one thing to be like, oh, you're cute, but it's another thing to be like, do you have my number? Do you have my number? Do you have my number? It's like, dude, stop.
But after the interaction, I texted Jay. I found out who left the note. Who didn't ask for his name. Definitely Otto. Yeah, one. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Basically, everything that I said. But basically, I just told her, "Hey, can you tell him that I'm flattered, but I decline." Because again, I would rather nip it in the butt before it goes into something.
Yeah, or before he starts expecting something from you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But God, yeah. It was a very amusing story to walk up to the front and just hear you guys be like, "Oh, go talk to Jay. Jay took a picture of it." It'd be like, "What? Took a picture of what?" Like, that was crazy. And then to hear the part 2, like literally it was what, 3 days later, 2 days later.
Yeah, roughly. I think was when we had Chick-fil-A for breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, brunch, I should say.
Yeah, brunch. I'll say you had to pick it up on a break so we could actually eat it.
Yeah, but it was still so weird and really uncomfortable. I hope if I see him again, I can just throw a different cloak in his face so I don't have to do with him again. But
well, hopefully he'll understand that, hey, you're not interested and he'll leave you alone. But if he's persistent, like, tell the man.
the thing that kind of bugged me is after Jay said, "Hey, I must decline." He said, "Okay, let me know if you ever change your mind." Like,
no, you're not gonna change your mind.
no, but Jay put "of course," which kind of indicates like, I'll keep it in mind. Which,
You're
to be
not.
fair, that's not all. She didn't ask if what to say, but yeah, that's fine. As long as he kind of gets the hints, fine. And like, okay, to be fair, it would have been creepier if he had waited till I went on my lunch or when I got off walk. Thankfully, that day I was with you, Wolf, and then I was with Albago, who's like 6 feet tall and has like 2 knives on him at all times. So I feel comfortable.
So yeah, you had both of us there. Which I also have a knife on me. It's a box cutter, but trust me, guys, I'll use it as a knife. Oh, and there goes my headset. 1 minute. There we go.
But that brings me to the story from yesterday, which isn't much of a story. It's more like a bit of a rant. Okay, so we have this guy in produce. His name is P. He was clocking out for the day, and he was like, "Hey, can you tell the customer service manager Jay if he needs me for anything?" I was like, "Hey Jay, do you need P for anything else?" And he was like, "What did?" And Jay and all his glory was like, "What did you say?" Then of course, you typically after you hear that, you typically speak up a little bit louder in the mic.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need anything, so I was like, "Hey P, you're good to go." And P was like, "Hey, just a heads up for next time. Maybe don't shout into the mic." Because people are complaining that you're shouting the mic, and they're saying that they might change stores or change departments.
Which I would like to point out. Never heard anybody say that other than him. No one has ever said that they're going to transfer. No one has ever said. People have said, "Oh, so-and-so's a little too loud." But it's not just you. It's been other people at the front before.
Yeah, no, trust me, I know.
So it's like, him making this complaint was absolutely ridiculous. And it's true, sometimes you have to speak up loudly. Like me, I have my head in a freezer and in a cooler. Sometimes when you guys are talking on the mic, like, I can't hear you. So I'll have to ask you to repeat yourself and speak louder because, like, I'm by large engines that are going. Like, I legit can't hear you.
Exactly.
And so you have to speak louder.
Mm-hmm.
And by chance, if people were planning on switching stores because of me, I feel like one of the managers would have said something by now.
Also, yeah, if it was that big of a problem, the manager would have said something. But yeah, this guy came over to me yesterday actually, and he was talking to me about it because he normally shares his complaints and goes on rants with me or whatever because he knows I'm gonna, like, I'll listen. We're not friends, but like, I'll listen to him and at least, humor him or whatever. And he was telling the story, and I'm just thinking, this guy doesn't understand that, like, Shield and I are, like, best buddies, does he? And that I'm not going to believe a word this guy is saying. And I was just kind of going, sure, And then he was like, "Oh, yeah, like, you speak so loudly, like, I'm going to go deaf from it." I'm like, "You're not going to go deaf from that." He was like, "Yes, you can. You can, from something that's repeating, like, you can go deaf." It's like, okay. Not something that's that short of a sound at that decimal for that time.
I was going to say, it takes a lot more.
It takes a lot more than that. It has to be a constant thing. It has to be repetitive, or it has to be incredibly loud, very close to your ears. And this is not that loud and not that close to your ear. So I'm thinking, you're not going to go from deaf from this, you dummy. But I was just kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. I think you could tell I didn't believe him, though. Because I was making no mistake hiding, like, my little... at this point, like, normally I try to be polite with people, but this guy was just kind of like, "Okay, you're bad-mouthing my friend. Like, I have work to do. Like, go away."
And I'm back around with a proof for the security walk, and one was like, "Hey, P thinks you're mad at him," which, to be fair, I am kind of peeved at him.
You're peeved at him. I'm peeved at him. He's trying to badmouth you about something stupid.
It gets to me, because I know you people know, but maybe the audience knows, but one of my major insecurities is my voice.
Right.
And attack to that kind of rubs me the wrong way, because I've always had a issue with my voice. If I could change it, I would, but I can't. So this is why I'm kind of left with. But for him to attack that, yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of him right now.
But on top of that, it's specifically for your voice and stuff. people actually have said before, oh, it's easier to understand you when you speak up. People have told you that before.
Yeah, literally. After he told me that, I checked with the other clerk that was on duty, L. I said, "Hey, do I shout in the mic?" And he said yes, but it helps us understand you better. And I was like, "Thank you."
And it's the truth. And again, coming from somebody who has my head in a freezer or a cooler all day, yeah, half the time I hear you guys when you're speaking at your normal volume, I can't understand what you're saying. And so we have to say, like, hey, speak up. Or we'll just wait for you to repeat yourself louder because we just won't hear you. So I don't know where he was coming from with this. I even told him, I said, well, if he's speaking too loudly, you can just turn the headset down, right? He was like, oh, no, I had it, like, turned all the way down. I'm thinking, no, you didn't, you idiot.
But now because of this whole shit, I'm talking like this on the mic because again, it's an insecurity.
Yeah, now Shioda's talking very softly on the mic. And I feel
I'm
terrible.
petty as fuck, and I would probably just speak louder.
Oh, I was ignoring the guy the rest of that day. Because he tried to come and, like, talk to me later, and I was just kind of like, I have work to do. And just totally ignored him. Which, guys, I'm normally not rude or whatever, but if you badmouth my friend and you make up all these bullcrap excuses and whatever, when there's things you can do. One, turn the headset down, which he claims he did, but if he had done it, the volume would have been lower and it wouldn't seem like somebody shouting in your ear. Two, Cyril, you're not actually shouting in people's ears. It's never registered as you shouting in my ears and you talking slightly louder so people can hear you.
Yeah, you actually had a headset on yesterday.
Yeah, I actually had a headset on yesterday. You weren't shouting in my ear. P was like, oh, did you just hear me shout in my ear? I'm like, no, he didn't. He spoke at a normal volume. Are you kidding? Like, seriously, dude? But, yeah, this guy's just rough. Here's the thing. He always has something to complain about. Normally he only complains about this one guy that works in his department, but...
Yeah, I know. I mean, okay. Him complaining about that guy is valid, because he doesn't do his job.
Yeah, that's valid, because that guy's a lazy bum who the hell knows what he's doing when he's working there, because he's clearly not doing his job. But to complain about this, absolutely stupid and ridiculous. Hi, Latte.
I mean, to be fair, I have had someone asking me to, like, move my mic down on my shoulder, which I'm, like, fine. If you tell me to move it down, I'll move it down, fine. But don't go, jabbing at that insecurity of mine, because that's something I'm really super sensitive about.
By the way, guys, if you're clicking in the background, Shioda's messing with a fidget toy, because it's really messing with his anxiety.
It really is. Which I kind of wish I had that day, but I didn't, sadly.
Mm-hmm. Also, Latte, if you're talking, we can't hear you. Latte unmuted herself, but we can't hear her, so I don't think either she's not talking or she is, and her headset's not picking up on it or something. But yeah, so I felt so bad that you had to go through that.
That sucks, dude.
I literally felt like crying at walk. Like I had that feeling behind my eyes.
Right. Yeah, I know exactly that, like, hot, like, uncomfortable feeling behind your eyes. Yeah.
I kind of feel it now, but yeah. Wolf, do you want to tell your story? I need to chill.
Which one?
Messing up the shipping order.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so, oh boy. So to explain this, to explain the context behind this, we do frozen orders. And Wednesdays are larger orders, Fridays are smaller orders. Normally we order 6 to 8 pallets worth of stuff, which is about 400 items. Which seems like a lot, guys, but in terms of how big the frozen section is in a grocery store, it's actually not that much. in fact, we don't get. A lot of the times is we'll order 400 items and we'll maybe get 370 because either the warehouse doesn't have it or they just won't send it to us for some stupid reason. But so yeah, long story short, one of the guys who's been working there for a while has started BBT training, which basically means he's moving up in the ranks or whatever, and he's learning how to do new things like doing inventory and ordering things. So there's a car. So
Sorry.
it's okay.
Around here.
So who, if you guys will remember a few weeks ago, and I shared the lovely story of him taking off dairy doors, breaking doors, which was a very funny story. But so left that day, and he basically left me with a little list of things that needed to be done, and he point blank said, "Hey, tell B when he comes in later that he needs to go through the inventory, like item by item, list by list, row by row. Or no, his exact words were line by line, go through it." And so B, and this isn't. We have two Bs in my department. One is manager B and one is this B. So I'm not talking about manager B, which is who I normally talk about. But so he went line by line and went through the frozen order, but something went wrong. Because then when I came in the next day to prepare for the order, I was informed that I walked in, and manager B, was basically like, "You have a very important job. You need to run all of this stuff in the cooler." And I was like, "Okay, why?" And he was like, "Because I need to run everything in the freezer." I was like, "Okay, like what's wrong?" And he's like, "Okay, well, B, the B who's going through the BBT training, messed up the order." I said, How much did he order? How badly did he mess it up? I'm thinking, maybe he ordered a few extra pallets. So our order should have been about 6 pallets. He ordered 11. He ordered, instead of about 370 of items, he ordered 800. Yeah, that was my reaction. Panda's got the biggest eyes. So
That's so much extra.
I know. I just stood there and I was like, "He did what?" M told me to tell him, and I told him go line by line through the order. Like, what did he do? And B was like, "I don't know." So yeah, we ran all that stuff, and yeah, sure enough, as I'm leaving later that night, Jay, who's one of the store managers, was like, "You guys got room in that freezer, right?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." He's like, "You got a big order coming, right?" And I was like, "How big is it?" Like, I know how many items it is. I know it's 800 items, but how many pallets? And he was like, "It's 11 pallets." And I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Like, those will fit, but you're going to open the door and there's going to be a pallet right in your face. You won't be able to take a step into the door. I'm just like, yeah, we know, like, accidents were made. And he's like, "Explain what happened." And I said, "The person doing the order messed up and ordered 800 items instead of like 350, 400 items. And he said, "Who did it?" And so I said, B. And he was like, "Okay, well, manager B is going to have to teach him how to do it again, because clearly that's a lot of items that did not need to be ordered." So literally, it was a 2-day truck. Normally we run it on Wednesday and then it's back stock on on Thursday. No. B and M came in on their day off. It's his manager, B and M. Came in on their day off to run it the rest of the half of the truck on Thursday morning, because they only got the half of it on Wednesday. Which says how big the truck is. It was so messed up. And then the guy who ordered it, B, he came in to get his bonus check because they were doing bonus checks that day. He came, yes, Shield is very happy about that. He came in, and when I told him how many items, I was like, so you ordered a lot of frozen items? He's like, yeah, it looked like we needed them. I said, we needed 11 pallets worth, and he went, what? I said, you ordered 800 items. And he was surprised. He seemed very surprised. Like, he didn't know he had ordered that much. I said, have you seen the freezer? He was like, no. And I was like, follow me. So we went to the back. I showed him the freezer. He's poking around. He's looking at the remaining pallets that were in there. Because we could only get so much out. And he was like, I didn't think I ordered this much. And I'm just like, well, I'm not going to call him out on his mistake. So I was like, maybe the computer glitched or something. It didn't glitch. You put it in wrong. I didn't want to make him feel bad, though. So I was like, maybe the computer glitched. He was like, oh, it must have. I don't remember ordering this much. And I texted B, and he was like, I'm going to teach him how to do it again. I could have sworn I taught him how to do inventory, and he was doing fine. But apparently I need to teach him how to do it again. So that he's going to get retrained in it. Because obviously something went wrong. If you order double the amount of stuff. I hate our freezer right now. It looks so horrible. It looks so messy. Like, I'm trying to run things, and guys, I'm trying to run stuff, and we have, like, normally we get about 2 boxes of everything. We have, like, 5 boxes of everything, and I can maybe put 1 box on the shelf. Our freezer's a mess. I hate it. Normally our freezer looks really good. That's the thing, though. We had been getting really good on our inventory where we were having very little backstock. Like, we were ordering just what we needed, and we had a tiny bit of backstock, but not a lot. Like, it was great. And then we'd get through the backstock on the backstock day, and then it would be perfect because we'd have plenty of room and time for when a new truck would come in. It was great. We had been getting better at that, and then this happened. It was like, oh my god. Oh.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was
that's going to go bad. There's no way you're going to be able to get it all out on the shelf before it goes bad.
No, the good news is it's all frozen.
Oh, well, that's true.
If it was the stuff in the cooler,
I was thinking they got like milk or something in it, and I was like,
no, that's the cooler. If it was stuff, if it was the stuff in the cooler, if it was the stuff in the cooler, he would have been in a lot more trouble. But because it's the freezer, it just means that our next couple week of deliveries are going to be incredibly, incredibly small. Because we can't put much in there.
That's good.
And we don't need much now because we have all this crap that he ordered. So, it's like,
You gotta double check before you do stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't know where the mistake happened. I think he just inputted it wrong. And then didn't realize he inputted it wrong. So, yeah, we wound up with, over double what we needed. It's like, ugh. I'm like, I've never been more thankful that we record on Wednesdays and I have Wednesdays off. I actually almost offered to go in early on Wednesday to help out with it, but then I was like, nah, they screwed up my schedule. I'm not doing this. Well,
transition.
Transition. So, I'm not supposed to be closing a lot. Because it's supposed to be, if you're a BBT, you're required to close once or twice a week. So I'm not supposed to be closing a lot because the 3 people I work with are all BBTs and I am not. I am a regular old, plain old worker. So they're supposed to be closing a lot. Well, I am working 5 days this week. I closed 4 of them.
Great.
And then the next week, I work 4 days, and I close 3 of them. It's an understatement to say how pissed I am about my schedule. I wound up asking Manager B about it the other day, though. And he explained that it's because the guy who's in training for BBT, it's his last 2 weeks of the BBT class, so he can't come in, at all. Because it's basically, they're wrapping up, then they're studying for their final, and then doing the test and stuff. It's a big thing. But So I'm having to close a lot because of that. And he was like, don't worry. After that, I'm going to try and like give you the bare minimum of closing. I'm like, you better. Because I am closing a lot. I'm not happy. Look at my face. Not happy. I was like, especially not since because when M got moved to our store, he point blank told me, you will hardly be closing now. I'm like, dude, I work 5 days, I close 4 of them. I work 4 days, I close 3 of them. What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture, man? Come on. But he also, he was very apologetic. I don't think he quite realized how many days I was closing until he actually sat down and looked at the schedule, which I basically made him do. And then he was very apologetic about it. And basically promised that I would not be closing a lot in the future. So we will see if he keeps that promise. Because he did not keep his last one. But, you know, whatever. Oh, and I almost had to deal with a Karen again. But luckily she... I hate the catalog. I hate it. I hate it when they come to the store. They have the catalog and then they ask you, it's in the catalog on sale. Where is it in your store? I'm like...
I almost had in a Karen situation.
Yeah, guys, listen, I get it. If you have a catalog that says, like, the items on sale, great. Here's the issue. Every store has different items. Why? Because every store has different sizes. For example, our store is small. So the item she was looking for, we don't sell because of that. Luckily, she was like, okay, fine, like, you know, that makes sense. She actually listened to my explanation. Half the time, people don't listen to my explanation and just throw a hissy fit. Well, how dare you have it in the catalog saying it's on sale if you don't have it in the store? And it's like, every store is not the same. To hell. Like, that's how it is for any store.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you go to, like, mainstream stores, like, you know, Target and all that, I guarantee you not every Target has the same thing. Because, again, they're different sizes. So they have different inventory. So while one might have the thing that's on sale, the other one might not. So please don't come to our stores with the catalog and expect us to have every single item in it, because we will not. Or, if it's on sale, we might be out of it. I did actually have to deal with a slight Karen a week ago when we had a certain, like, coffee thing on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And she was all, if it's on sale, shouldn't you have ordered extra? And I'm like, ma'am, one, we're not informed of these sales before they happen.
Right?
2, we did order extra because we were completely out. So we did actually order extra. It's just gone. It's a sale. Everyone's buying it. Like, it's not we did order extra. We just don't have it. And she was like, well, you should have ordered more. And I'm like, well, that's not how it works. I wanted to say, well, that's not how it works. But you have to, you know, it's be like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, blah, 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 blah. Ugh.
Hate to interrupt the rant. Sorry, I'm about to turn my alarm on, so just be prepared for a loud robotic voice.
Is it going to be the British Siri or whatever you have on your phone?
No, it's Simply Safe.
Ah.
My house alarm. There we go.
What's the alarm for?
Burglars.
Oh, I didn't know it was like your apartment alarm.
I just said my house alarm.
Or, yeah, your house alarm. See, I didn't know that. I thought it was just like a random alarm.
No, it's my alarm. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I was saying since I'm renting, I got one of those Simply Safe systems that you can just stick on the wall with command strips.
No, that makes sense.
Yep. That way I don't alter the property in any way with it. So. Mm-hmm. Okay, continue. Yep.
So my slight Karen, it happened the next day I walked after the whole mic situation. When I came in, I was kind of refusing to wear a mic simply because of that, but of course she does it. Of course she comes over with me when I don't have a mic. She was looking for some sort of wall, and there was Bunny.
Hi, Bunny. We're still doing the podcast.
Okay.
The stream is at 8:30. You're welcome to join us for the podcast.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
You're welcome to. You're welcome to join us for the podcast.
Yeah, we're just bitching.
We're going on rants about our work.
All right. Well, I'll just be here. Probably
Okay.
won't contribute anything.
That's fine. That's fine. You can be like Latte, where you
I mean,
just
that's
listen.
kind of what
That's
Latte
fine.
does. Yeah.
You can just listen in.
Okay.
So, this happened after the whole bullshit with the mic. And I was kind of reluctant to get a mic, but in this incident, I did get a mic. So first off, I always like self-check as usual, and she didn't even like directly come up to me. She was like yelling, "Hey, cool!" Just why not? Why do that? But okay. And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." I was like, "Do you have so and so this type of pancake battle in the back? There's not even a tag for it." I was like, "Well, ma'am, because there's no tag for it, we don't sell it."
I know who this is. I am so sorry. I sent her to you.
Nice. Thanks a lot, Wolf.
She asked me that question. I'm realizing this now. I hadn't heard this before, guys. That she came to me asking about it. I said that's not my department, but somebody at customer service would be willing to answer your question.
Well, and also, that's what. In all fairness, you don't know.
In all fairness, I did what I was supposed to, but I'm sorry, Shiota. I set her on you.
Oh yeah, she's like, "There's no place on the shelf for this."
Well,
I was like, "Well, because there's no tag, we don't have it." She's like, "But it's in the catalog. Shouldn't you have it?" I was like, "Ma'am, all stores are different. All stores are different."
The website.
What one store? What one location?
Yeah, well, what do your eyes say?
Right, exactly.
Website could be wrong. You also see pictures of employees smiling on the website. You see any of those here?
That's fair. Anyway, Shiota, continue.
You go ahead, Shiota.
If one location has one item, does not necessarily mean that another location has it.
Right.
It's like, okay, but can I exchange so and so for so and so? I was like, you should, but let me double check. And of course, I don't have a mic, so I ran over the customer service and I was like, "Hey Jay, can you ask P for a lady can switch one item for another item?" And I was like, "No," and P said okay. So thankfully, we were able to get that done without her yelling.
I'd like to point out when she came to me, all she did was ask where the pancake mix was and if we had a certain type of pancake mix. And I said where it was, but then she said she didn't see it on the shelf. She never said that there wasn't a tag for it. She just said she didn't see it on the shelf and was wondering if there was any more in the back. So I said go up to customer service to ask them. She never said there wasn't a tag. If she had said there wasn't a tag, I would have told her, and that means we don't sell it.
Right.
She may have said that there wasn't a place for it, and my brain just automatically translated to, "Oh, there's no tag for it." But that's just me walking 2 years at that stall.
Right. But yeah, if there's no place for it, then...
Yeah, obviously we don't sell it.
I was like, guys, if there isn't a place for it, if there's not a tag, if there's no designated place for it, clearly we don't sell it. Don't ask us to check in the back. Please.
This is why I drink.
This is why Panda's drinking right now.
But this takes me to something I find a little bit more amusing. So Tuesday I was closing. Our stores also only close at 9 because of being short-staffed. Roughly 2 minutes before you close, this old guy comes in, grabs a cart, like not one, just mini carts, but the actual size carts. And he just walks around, acting like I didn't just say, "Hey, it's 9 o'clock. The store is closed. Get out of here." He just continued walking around like I didn't say anything. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to tell him, "Hey, get your lazy ass out of here." So
Yeah, people
And,
just don't listen to the fact that they don't read our store hours and they'll just show up. It's like fast food. People will show up 5 minutes before they close at fast food. It's like, dude, don't do that.
This isn't a basketball game. We're not playing to the buzzer.
Exactly.
Don't worry, I'll be quick. Quickly moving to the exit.
It's like quickly making a 360 and
or hold
leaving.
a bunch of workers hostage. You chose wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, quickly make a 180 and leave.
So at 9:05, I'm just like standing there, like my arm crossed like this, because this is what I typically do, holding the mic, and I'm saying into the mic, "Attention shoppers, the time is now at 9:05. The store is now closed. We ask that you make your way up to the front for fine checkout. And as always, we thank you for shopping at your store." And I'm saying this as I'm staring at him down aisle 1. Like, I am literally staring
I'll say,
at him.
no one else is there. Everybody else knows that. We close at certain
No.
times.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's just those few people that are idiots.
And I'm like, I'm talking to the cashier, because I had 2 cashiers on with me. The cashier that was on register 7. Like, after I finished it, I was like, "Smile, service with a smile, D. Service with a smile." Then
Yes,
after
yeah.
he's gone, and as he's walking out, I'm like, I politely open the door for him, because the doors we obviously don't have them opening up automatically. I just like push the door open and like, "Have a nice day, soul." No,
Get the hell out of our freaking store! Why do you show up before it closes?
Yeah. Then after he walks out, I slam the door and I quickly tell him, like, "Okay, guys, you don't have to act nice anymore."
It's like he's gone.
Yeah. Then afterwards,
It's clear.
I'm getting a cashier's check, and this guy just like zooms in, walking into the store. And keep in mind, the doors are not automatically opening, so he had to like push the doors open. It's like,
I hate it when they fucking do that.
and he's like, "Hey," he's like, he walks in like he owns the place, and he's like, "Hey, give me a Mega Million Powerball." It's like, "So we're closed. Get out." So it's like, "Why are you guys closing?" It's like, "We don't understand." We're like, "Oh, okay." He walks out.
Also, they made a big announcement on the news and everything that we were literally closing earlier. I don't know why people don't understand this.
But no, it's funny, because as this is going on, as this guy is walking through the store, my mom texts. I'm trying to find it. It's kind of funny. Let me find it. My mom texts me. This is at 9:07. She's like, "Oh, you okay? Running late?" I reply, "There's an old guy still in the store, acting like we are still open, despite me saying true. That we aren't. Then she's like, "Are you in charge?" Then I reply after I made the third announcement, make that 3, and yes, but it's not like I can kick them out. And she should just start turning off lights.
Dude, I totally would have just started turning off lights.
I would have loved to. If I had the
Freaking closed, like.
I was gonna say, don't you need a key to do that in some of the stores? I thought.
I don't know.
I think in ours you do need a key, but
If I had the ability to, I would.
Because I know the custodians are the only people that can shut off the lights in the schools. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, that would be hilarious if we just randomly started turning off lights.
that's called, the store is closed. Like, if the door is shut, like, no. Clearly we're closed.
Yeah, the alarm guy should have realized that, but no, he still walks in like he owns the place. And to be fair, we didn't have someone watching the door because I was getting a cashier's his paycheck, and the other cashier had already left. So to be fair, we weren't watching the doors, but still, he should have realized when the door wouldn't slide open that we were kind of close.
I opened a lot the last couple of months of me working there just because they knew I'd show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was normally the first one there, me and a couple of the custodians. Normally. And I'd go in there and I would normally have to unlock the door because the useless ass opening customer service manager would always forget. So I would have to go do it. And so I went and did. I have had so many just old people just sitting there like, I want to buy some bananas. I'm like, wait till I open the damn doors. It is 5:58.
I'll say, stop
I ain't got
giving me
nothing else
your
to do
grocery
today.
list.
Let me
Go
just
back to
ruin
the
a
nursing home.
minimum wage worker's day.
I make $10 an hour. Oh my god.
Dude, I just hate it when people keep putting things in my department that aren't a part of my department. And the worst thing is a lot of times it just ruins the food. And we have to get rid of it.
Right?
Didn't you find like a bag of cheese in the freezer pod?
Yeah, somebody put our shredded cheese in a freezer and it was frozen solid. It's like, it's ruined. I can't thaw it out and then resell it. It's ruined.
Right.
The quality's gone. We have to throw it away. You idiots.
The
And
amount
you know
of
what the
times
worst-
I have had,
You know what the worst
the
part
amount
was?
of times
It
I
was-
had people fill up a full ass box of food from the hot bar, bring it up to me and be like, I don't want this anymore. And I,
No, we just have
Yes.
people do that with their carts here. They'll fill up an entire cart and then not want to do it.
this.
Hey, can you take this from me? I don't want it anymore.
Oh, I have a slight complaint about the front end. Not you, Shioda, because I know it's not
Yeah,
you
I
doing this.
know.
I know it's not you doing this. Whoever is at the front end that keeps sticking crap in our freezer, that's obviously not our department. I'm going to kill them. Also, whoever's in the front end that keeps sticking things that are frozen stuff in our cooler, which isn't a freezer, we have
Right.
to throw all those items away. They're like, oh, people didn't want this, so we put it in your cooler for you. It's like, no, it's thawed. We can't sell it anymore.
Yeah, really been on our ass about having all the new guys block or do putbacks or do all the chores.
They're
It's
idiots.
Yeah, like I'm fine having them like do the chores, but at some point you have to do it on like a day when we aren't busy, like on a Wednesday or a Friday.
Yeah, so you can freaking
Yeah.
train them.
I'm not walking.
Yeah, because I mean, I did putbacks all the time, you know, because
Yeah,
I'd be at the store and the customer service people wouldn't have time to go back and put bacon back, so I'd have to go do it.
Yeah, like, yeah.
But they keep putting things in our cooler that's supposed to go in the freezer, which is literally
Yeah.
5 feet to the left of our cooler. And it's literally labeled freezer.
I don't get that. Like, I mean, it's pretty clear where those things are supposed to go. Like, they're all stacked.
I know,
by
and
item.
we have to throw it away. They're like, oh, you can put this back on the shelf. I'm like, no, I can't because you put it in our cooler, so it's thawed. It's not frozen anymore.
not
It's
safe
cool,
anymore. Yeah.
but it's not frozen. That's supposed to be frozen. We have to throw it away because the quality's gone.
Like shrimp or things like that. Yeah, that's dangerous.
And then another thing the front will do when they're doing the putbacks, and I know it's all the new people doing it too. They'll put things that are for the deli or produce in our cooler.
Right.
Does this look like our department? Does it look like we
Right.
have meat in our cooler? Does it look like we have strawberries in our cooler? Excuse
I'm
me.
running a food bank.
That's produce and that is deli.
Exactly.
Get this out of my cooler.
All right.
We had an entire cart once that literally had gotten put in our cooler. And it was all just things that were putbacks that they assumed was our department, and it was all the meat department, deli, and produce. None of it was ours. And literally, I grabbed one of the cashiers as they were walking by me about to go to the front. I said, take this, because none of this is ours. It's not supposed to be in our cooler. This is deli, produce, and meat. Does this look like we're deli, produce, or meat? No. Take it. I was like, also, this has to get thrown away because these strawberries are moldy. Like, why would you put this in our thing? Ugh. It's so annoying that they do that. It's like,
I hate it. I hate putbacks.
It's not my department.
I feel shame from association.
I hated.
That's the thing.
Hated
I know it's all the new guys. Because I caught one of the new guys about to do it once, and I actually told him, I said, this is the cooler, this is where you put the dairy products. This is the freezer, this is where you put all the frozen products. Make sure you put the designated items in Eve. However, if you get something that is fruit or meat, or if it is a type of cheese that literally they sell in the deli, they do not go in here. You take them over to those departments. Because that's not ours. All we're going to do is give it back to you to take to them. So I told one of the newbies to do it, and he's listened to me. But it's the rest of the newbies that they've been hiring recently that just don't know because nobody told them. And just it makes me want to bang my head against the wall. It's so annoying.
You're gonna figure it out.
And again, I don't mind training on how to block or how to do putbacks, but again, you need to know when to train them and when to get shit done.
I say, pick and choose your battles.
Oh my god, I have argued with we have a few J's up there, so it's kind of I've talked to co-CSMJ, Wolf Yo Thursday buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I've argued with her so many times about that because she's never closed once, so she doesn't know what happens. Sometimes there are 2 times. Typically, it's get shit done. Other times, maybe 20% is teaching the new guys how to block, which. If I have people to spell, I will send someone who knows how to block and one of the newbies to go do it. But still, they think they never consider hey, the store's busy. Let's not send one of the new guys and have them stumble. Let's send someone who actually knows how to do their shit.
Right.
Yeah.
They got on our asses so hard yesterday about that. And okay, I know you have a good relationship with co-manager Jay Wolf, but
yeah, he loves our department. He does not like the front though.
No, he was he specifically said have the new guys do the blocking, which translates to we aren't getting shit done because they want us to go back and check it. Like we are a teacher checking someone's math homework.
Yeah.
We don't have time for that.
Oh, so you got stuff to do.
We had to wander front the desk. We had to prep the till.
I hardly have time to check people's homework, and I get paid to do that.
Yeah, I just
why can't you just get it right?
See, I don't like it. I don't like it when you guys are in the front, and I get that you guys will get busy. But if you ask for baggers and then you'll call us by name, Wolf, please come to the front to help bagging. I'm going over to my freaking apartment, and I am closing. I have to stock milk because there's no milk on the shelves. I have to stock eggs because there's no eggs on the shelf. Then I have to block. I can't go to the front and do this because then you're gonna have people coming up here why isn't there any milk on the shelf? Why isn't there any eggs on the shelf?
Train your damn cashiers to bag. That's the thing. Your cashiers need to know how to bag.
Well, it's not that they know how to bag. They're just slow. They're so slow.
That's what I'm saying though. I remember when I was a cashier, they would schedule me for all that I was worth because I had this cart of $800 and I bagged it by myself. In the same amount of time, this kid was still on a cart, probably worth $200 after I was done. And I was like, it's not that fucking hard.
Literally. I was walking, I think, Labor Day weekend. And so we were packed. So I literally got in the register store and I literally walked up a sweat getting people checked out. Both the person that was waiting in line and the person that was waiting on were damn, he's really quick. I was considering the day it is, I kinda have to be.
Yeah. I'd like to also point out there was one day, and it was right when the football season started. It was right when the first game was for football.
Oh god, fucking damn
It
I
got
hate
so
that day.
busy. They called all the extra people in produce. They called all the extra people in my department. All the extra people in deli. If like we all got caught up to the front. All the store managers were bagging. We were bagging. We had me and manager B for my department. We were both bagging on the same cash register because we were trying to get things going through fast.
Right.
And it's just like that's how you know when it gets busy. It's hectic. I'd like to point out we were supposed to go to lunch at 1:00. By the time we went to lunch, it was I believe 1:50.
And that's another thing that gets my anxiety rolling. Because a thing with my anxiety is I like to be on time with things. Like if I say okay, I'm going to my lunch at 1, I have to go at 1, or then my anxiety's kind of skyrocketing. He literally held the clicking of this, and he knew it's gonna be one of those days.
Oh yes, because I'm in the middle of bagging, and Shota went over to the counter to like do something. I think he was doing forms or something, and I could hear the clicking of a pin because I just looked over at him. I just kind of went because I knew exactly that it was him. I just looked over it to him and then went back to bagging. And in my mind, I was like, okay, when we go to lunch, we're gonna go to my house to eat it to get the hell out of here.
Hey, can you get your keys?
Yeah, he said, hey, can you get my keys? And I was kind of like, okay, sure, why? And he was like, because I need to get the hell out of here.
Oh yeah, honestly, I would have more with someone.
Yeah, they had me do a little bit of everything by the time I left. I never ended up doing customer service just because I was student teaching at the same time and didn't have time to do it, But like, I would be there and there would be these kids that they'd have me go train. Because they're like, just put Panda on it. She knows her shit. Just have her do it. She can back them up if they are too slow. Basically, because like I would have to open up a second line because it would get too busy. And I'd be like, you just do the best you can right now. It is too busy. And I'd have to just open up the lane behind them and just take the rest of their customers because they are so damn slow. I can't. Mm-hmm. And we don't have enough people. It was me and my friend Ashley at the time. It was just me and her that were not new. So I was like, all right, girl, we got to just pump these people out because these kids don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, I feel that I relate. I really relate. Whenever we have a new clock coming up, they know, well, they don't do it, but they don't really do it because I have only trained one, but they know if I train them, I'm gonna train clocks, not idiots. Yes. Like one of our upcoming clocks, Z. When she was still working there, BBTM, she asked Z who's been training, and Z was like, yeah, keep doing that because she fucking knows.
Oh my God.
I'll say some of the people you can tell who trains who because if you get trained by a good person, they do their job. If you don't, then they don't do their job.
L was solely me. The person L's girlfriend M, she was a mixture of everyone with a very big emphasis on J. Mm-hmm. And you can tell because like J, she's fun to socialize with, but she has a half-assed social job. I actually take the job serious, so you can tell who trains who up at customer service. Like right. I will literally when they start setting off, I will get on their ass about that.
Yeah, because some of those. No, I loved a lot of my customer service people. I did. Okay, I really did, but some of them. Oh my God. It was a lot of the cashiers though, because I was like, they would be like these high school boys that would come in because they need part-time work for
Yeah.
college, which is fine. I get it. A couple of them were stay-at-home moms who were normally great. The people who were like stay-at-home moms or people that were retired, they tended to do a little bit better.
Like I said,
Like, them being slow, like I had a guy at my store, his name was Pat, and he was he was a vet, so he had PTSD. So he was a lot slower than some of the other cashiers, but he was very nice. That was different because he had a disability.
Mm-hmm.
That was different. If you were slow because you can't get your shit together, that is a whole different story. So there is a huge difference, because, like I said, I would be pumping out $800 carts on the regular because the other people couldn't handle it. Do you know what I mean? Like at some point, it would be me and I didn't really have a bagger most of the time. You have to get to a point when you're doing that kind of work where you can just do shit by yourself because the baggers are too busy helping out the people that don't know what the hell they're doing. So they need at least one person to be able to do it by themselves. You know what I mean? Just how it is. That's how it is. But I don't miss it. I'll tell you that. I don't miss it at all.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the clocks I work with. Notice how it ends at cashiers.
Yeah.
Like I like the clocks I work with. They're great. Some of them are actually leaving us. The guy that I trained, Al, he's leaving first week of October. I'm really disappointed because we were living in a good clock, not a 2 mile home, but toot.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Because again, he is the only person I fully trained. Everyone else is a little bit of a mixture with someone being a little bit larger than the others. Like literally, whenever when Elle's girlfriend started training for clock, someone asked her, "Hey, who do you want to train with?" And it was like, and she was instantly was like Sheila, like they know. Like even the clocks in training know to put me with them because everyone else will half-ass teach them.
Yes, that is very true. I have seen the other people try to train them, and it is pathetic.
Because it's a tiny dying teacher in me that acts that way. Also, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I can come off as a little strict. But that's just because of my nature.
Teaching with kids, you sometimes have to straight up put their fingers where they need to be. Like I teach orchestra, for those of you that are curious. So sometimes I literally have to come up and be like, okay, your finger goes here. There you go. That's how it feels sometimes when I was training. That's how it felt sometimes when I was training cashiers. Like, okay, look, your finger goes here. There you go.
Yeah, there are some very dumb people out there.
You're a man.
Yeah, I was training a cashier yesterday on like looking up products and whatnot, and it is a gratifying feeling, like teaching them, like showing like just seeing in their head how everything clicks. But when they get like okay, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it.
Exactly.
All what you can do is you can lead the horse to water and shove their heads down into the water.
Into the water, yeah.
But I will do it. They all understanding it. I will do that happily. But
produce is a bit of a process, though. It's one of those things you have to learn as you go. Like when I first started, I was like, I'm never going to be able to do this, and now I just like basically know fruits and veggies by their number.
Yeah, for me, it's a mixture between the PLU codes and looking them up on the register. Like
it depends. Blueberries never fucking work. First of all, the code for them, at least at my store, never fucking worked. So I ended up I'm memorizing like the input code for blueberries where I could just manual the price because I remembered the sale price for them.
The thing walk in our store is asparagus and grapes.
Asparagus and grapes were fine. For me, it was always blueberries or apricots.
That
because
is
apricots are random.
Yeah, that's a very weird one to have a problem with.
Strawberries sometimes. It was normally like the boxed produce. That's or stuff in those little annoying plastic packages. Yeah, that would burst open sometimes when you were scanning them too fast. That's fun.
Sometimes I forget the dread of being a cashier.
It's
like,
nice.
yeah, like you're scanning someone and you look like and you see the little line clear and it's like, oh, thank God, I can take a break. Then someone comes out and you feel the dread just wait on you like a storm.
When your first couple of months, yeah, that's absolutely what it is. But eventually, I think you get a little bit like, as you get really good at it, you're just like, all right, fine. 2 carts worth of shit is probably the one that still was a lot for me by the end. Because why do you have so much shit? You have room.
In what world would you ever use all of that?
Right, exactly.
I guess if it's the zombie apocalypse. Or if it's snowing. If it's snowing, you gotta buy all the bread and milk.
I hate you. I work in that department. I don't want it to freaking snow. I'm gonna stab somebody in that when it comes to winter.
The south.
Okay. This was fun ranting.
Yes. Thank you for joining our Misfit Rants.
We shall title this one Customer Service.
We want that to be the
Tales of a
title?
customer
Okay.
service worker.
Yep.
Tales of a customer service worker.
Tales of customer service workers.
Trust me, I have some tales.
I have some real tales. Teaching tales are another level.
I'll probably name this Customer Service Rants.
Fair enough.
Something around those lines.
I enjoy ranting, but that's all the time we have. Some of us need to eat.
Yes, some of us need to eat before we stream, so.
Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Make sure you tip your waitresses on the way out. As always,
Teacher pay. Please.
Oh, Panda has a point.
I'm alright.
and as always, have a nice night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.